Hare Hare Krishna. So before I pass on the microphone to Rajarsi Prabhu to today's discourse, I would just like to acknowledge the presence of His Grace Adiraj Prabhu, who is visiting us just for a very short time. Unfortunately, he's leaving tomorrow, and he will be leaving here in just a little while. So on behalf of my family, Adiraj Prabhu, thank you very much for making the sacrifice to be with us. Adiraj Prabhu is the one who taught me to put tilak and tie a dhoti and all these things way back in 1994. So he is one of my original gurus. So I thank him very much for taking the time to be with us today. So now we will have the discourse by Rajarsi Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Before we begin, a little bit more on Adiraj Prabhu. He is one of those fortunate souls who, in the 80s, his father, along with the children, moved into the ashram at Mohesh Road. About what age you were then? About 8 or 9. They had the privilege, the good fortune of being in Gurukul. We had a Gurukul school in Mohesh Road that moved to down the line we call Gandhi Village, and Adiraj Prabhu had the privilege of being brought up as a devotee. One memorable thing is he, in 1988, thereabout, he came back from Guyana. Myself and the devotee who know about the yoga, I was running a yoga center in the north, and we were supposed to pick up Adiraj at the airport. A granny made the arrangement with us. And in those days, I don't know, it's called the preaching center, sometimes sleeping center. I told Bhakti Yoga, wake me up. He sleep away too. Adiraj and his sister Jayashree, they came. You know, those days you didn't have a cell phone, and you know, he'll call and say, well, Prabhu, waiting. You didn't have cell phone and so on in those days, you know. And anyway, by the time I wake up, I was kind of, you know, but, so anyway, when we arrived at the airport, Adiraj, yeah, you know, sitting waiting late at night. Anyway, but by Krishna's mercy, he has the privilege now being all over, associating with devotees, different parts of the world, and he was always the best drummer. Granny Swami, then Kirtan was his life, and Kirtan was everything, everywhere, and like, his name was Adesh then. He was the drummer. granny will carry him anywhere, wherever he has to go. Will carry him to play drum. Yeah. So what a glorious, good fortune, he has. Okay, so we would.
I just want to say one thing also concerning.
Dama was there too,
He just didn't thought we didn't tie dhoti and put on tilak. He also taught me. And that was around 1987, and I had the opportunity to practically grow up together with them. So it was a very fortunate thing.
Yes.
That.
It's how glorious it is, and so, okay, you could repeat some prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Everyone could repeat. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
Prabhu Nityananda.
Prabhu Nityananda.
Shri Advaita Gadadhara.
Shri Advaita Gadadhara.
Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Today I would like to speak about the state of awakening that a devotee exists in as compared to people in general. Why I'm speaking about this for over a week now, my elder brother is in critical condition, dying from cancer in the hospital, but various complications, and although I'm not directly there like the family members, I'm kind of conscious. I've been thinking, when I became a devotee, he probably was 30 years old, thereabout. They all had opportunities. When my father died, 92, 30 years ago, my father was a devotee, died in the temple. And I thought, wow, he's going to become a devotee now. I'm talking about my brother, I thought, he looked like real serious and everything. Even his appearance, maybe we put on tilak for him, he had shaved head, and I thought, there's something called smasana vairagya, crematorium renunciation. At the crematorium you lament, cry, and this and that, but then like the time factors, time passes, things kind of ease off and you get back in your comfort zone, and never showed any interest. I mean, he would host some programs sometime and things like that. Always do anything, build a shed for me, or do this, do that, anything willing to do. But taking up devotional service so unfortunate. But still people associated with devotees, there's great benefit. But what we like to discuss a bit, life, how are we going to make maximum or get maximum benefit from all situations? Because we're living life and different times different things are thrown at us or circumstances change. As they say, like, what ABC mean to little children? Well, that is A for apple, B for bat, C for cat. That is what ABC mean to the little child. But then when you get a little bigger, it is like Android and Bluetooth and download, and that is what ABC mean, you know, at a certain age. And like when you get old, it's like arthritis and blood pressure and cholesterol. That is like what ABC will mean when you go down a little later. But for a devotee, ABC, association, books is the basis, association, books, and C, chanting, anytime, all the time, for a devotee. These are like important elements, anytime, all the time. Association, what you could get out of these books, and the chanting. You know, the Jehovah Witnesses people, they have these two magazines. One is called Watchtower, the other is Awake. You know, Awake? Awake. It's a very important phrase, awake. We have something in the Vedas also. It's a verse from the Vedas that says, Uttishta. Uttishta Jagrata. Jagrata, to wake up. Uttishta Jagrata. Please wake up. Prapya Vardhan Nibodataha. Try to understand the Vardhan, or the great boon, a human form. All the privilege, the fortune you have as a human being. You just compare any animal, they may even be glorious animal. When it was coming, we saw some people with a cow pen. So I was saying, these people must be real committed to be mining cows, in this age. So anyway, the idea is, life of a cow is glorious, but human form of life, the privilege, the facility, the opportunity to get out of the cycle, reinstate ourselves home where we belong to in the spiritual world, go back home. When would you do it? Who would do it for us? We as individuals in the human form, we have this responsibility. It's on our shoulders. And it's not good to procrastinate. You see, what you could do today, don't leave for tomorrow. It's like, take ahead. In the words of Prahlad in Bhagavad, he said, before this body is embarrassed by dwindling, before the body gets like invalid, invalidity. You know something invalid. They have expiry date on them. Before this body is embarrassed by dwindling, we should get maximum benefit out of it. But all of that will be determined by the state of awakening that we are in. How enlightened, how awakened we are. So, after contemplating a little bit, people in general in this world, they're under the spell of Maya or illusion. It's just like a sleeping state. A sleeping state. So somebody could say, no, I am quite conscious and awake. You're awake. You're conscious of what? Whatever you are conscious of, it's not the reality. It's the dreaming state. I've told you this little anecdote, this little story before, that once the king, he was having this pleasant dream. Dreaming he's a butterfly and he's enjoying the flight going from one flower to another. He's enjoying that, but then something in the dream broke and he got up startled, and he asked one of his wise minister friends, tell me, am I a butterfly now dreaming I am a king? Or am I a king was dreaming I am a butterfly? And the wise minister said, wake up. You are neither a king nor are you a butterfly. One may be a 5-minute dream, the other may be a 50-year, 100-year dream, but both of them are dreaming states. They are far different from the reality that we are an eternal soul belonging. To just know yourself, you have to know who you are, where you really belong to, not some hypnotized state or some state where you're under some spell or something. No. To be conscious of yourself and your constitutional position. Where is really your home? Who is really your parents, your family, who you belong to? What is that original? So there's a song that sometimes we sing. Bhakti Vinod Thakur song. Jeev Jago, Jeev Jago. Jeev means the soul. Jago means to wake up. Wake up, sleeping souls. Wake up. How long would you continue to sleep in the lap of the witch called Maya. Yoga Devi doesn't probably appreciate we calling her a witch, right? But sometimes, you know, the way her functions are to delude the souls and keep them under this spell of illusion, sometimes like she's kind of referred to like as a witch. So it's like, you know, Bhaktivinoda is saying, how long will you continue to sleep in the lap of the witch called Maya? She's just keeping you under that spell. You know the story of Hansel and Gretel. These two kids went into the woods and they saw this cottage and it was so nice. It just made of chocolate and candy, and you know, they thought, wow, we would really enjoy. It's like, this is the most enjoyable thing, you know, we could just enjoy. But they didn't know that behind this cottage there is a witch, you know, who is behind this. So this world looks so attractive, everything's so nice. In fact, maybe some of you, there was a lady called Karen Carpenter, she sang, everything I want the world to be is coming true, especially for me. Huh? It's like, yeah, the world designed just. There's a Sanskrit statement, Atmavan Manyate Jagat. Like the world revolves around me. It's just like I exist and everything just exists for the fulfillment of my existence, my desire. Egocentric. You know, I am the center of, and everything just revolves around me. I. So, in the human form, one of the most amazing things for a devotee is to try to comprehend why the masses of people cannot wake up and understand what I understand, especially like for me the waking up was really like not many years of any drag out thing. I was like intensely reading a Bible and praying and praying, God, if I know the truth, I promise you I'll live by that truth. Bhagavad Gita came. It was just a week. I read the book from cover to cover. And it was amazing. It was a revelation. Like everything I wanted to know, here it was. So it wasn't a casual thing. Why? Because one day I was coming from school and I saw somebody with a book in their hand. I was looking for that book. I wanted to get my own copy. Went to him. And the next day, I was in a Hare Krishna temple. Now, that's what it meant. When I say awakening, it was an awakening. And I was praying, if I know the truth, I'll live by that truth. Now, I didn't have the nerve to deny what was being revealed to me. So, from then, it's always a bewildering thing. And the thing about it is you have an eagerness, an excited eagerness to get everyone who close to you, you want to get them to understand this exciting thing. So what do you think I used to do? I was living in an ashram in St. Augustine, and I just quit school and moved in there. I didn't even have the courtesy to come back and tell some friends, anything that, one thing I'll do, I'll come to them and say, come up to the temple, come check it out. And a Pandit friend from Mauritius Road, Diana Maharaj, as the Pandit's son, we live a little further up the road. Carry him up to the temple, spend a few days. If anybody could understand, Pandit's son's supposed to understand. Parents willingly agreed to send him back. He didn't, nothing came out of him. I have a friend who came here a few times, we were all female, you remember the guy with the red pickup, from Pinal. He came a few weekends. He was like, he left school too, but he went into Tech as an apprentice. So he used to come and spend some weekend. But then, that was the end. When he feel like people trying to get serious, he back out. And that was it. Came a good run sucker over the years while working. And just a few months after he retired, by chance I went to look for him. And I knew he was a serious alcoholic and all of that, and, but went to look for him, carry prashadam and so on. So what are you doing? He said, well, I'm retired. So it's about time you do something serious with your life. I think about 2 weeks after I was going to Barbados, I called him up and said, here what? Went to Barbados, make a trip with me. So in Barbados, every day I would have classes in the evening. I'll cook prashadam, and not many people, but about 10, 12 people would come. We would have reading and discussion, and one of the reading I was doing is Prabhupada Leela. So I used to give him every day. It's just simple English reading. Give you to read, and then I would read and explain Gita. So he had about 8 days, 10 days association, showing how to chant and whatnot. And anyway, when he came back from Barbados, he started to visit the temple, and the next day I was going to India, and he said I could go with him. So yeah, sure. Spent a 6 weeks with me in India. And anyway, that was one good job done. He's a devotee. But the idea is that I brought many other friends. And nothing happened. They went on life as usual. Family members, you kind of close and you care for them. So on one hand, because of bodily attachment, you care for them, but at the same time there's a feeling that you can't do anything for them. I would spend hours every day with people who never knew, never had anything to, but because they're willing to do what I am doing, I'll spend hours with them every day in class. But own family members, it's not like you don't do things for them, but it's limited to prashadam. That's what it's limited to do. As much prashadam as you give them. Because you convince, that don't go in vain. Give them prashadam. As a matter of fact, it's stressed out today, father dying of cancer, his wife stressed out, got sick yesterday, when doctor called her to them and said, you have COVID. So I know the situation home there. I volunteered to cook and send lunch. I cook plenty for everybody around there. I send lunch for them. So I know prashadam is, in the circumstances, they're stressed out. something I could do, I do. Knowing what more could you do? How much could they hear? But the awakening thing we're talking about, it's like Krishna is just saying in the Bhagavad Gita in very straightforward words, I am the source of everything, and the wise who know this perfectly engages in my devotional service and worship me with all their heart. And Krishna, he explained in detail. He said, Arjuna, I'll tell you everything, and knowing this there will be nothing further to be known. And he enumerates everything, earth, water, fire, air, all the elements. He said, besides this, there's spirit souls, conscious beings who are trying to exploit. They have a body made up of this matter, and with this body they try to build a house, build a car, control, enjoy the world. Krishna is very explicit about what the souls, what is their agenda. Yayedam dharyate jagat, trying to exploit the universe. They're trying to just exploit this material energy. But Krishna is so explicit that the real problems is birth, disease, old age, and death. It's going to just take you away from everything that is near and dear to you. It's a dead end. Everybody is heading one place. They say if you write a book about everybody, the last chapter will be the same, and he died. It will end the same way, and he died. But the time factor is such, like it moves in slow motion, and we appear to have plenty time, but we're just heading one place, straight into death. But it's not like in Kali Yuga you live for long. No. There's a sage called Master Rishi. Sometimes you hear about some sage get a vardhan, get a benediction, get long life or something. Well, this one really had a benediction of a long life. You know how long his life, what was his benediction? The benediction for him was every day a Dea Brahma pass, 1 hair from his body will fall off. And you know how long a Dea Brahma is? We live in Kali Yuga. We only passed 5,000 years. We have another 427,000 years to go. Kali Yuga lasts for 432,000 years. There are 4 ages, and each one is twice as long. The previous one, 864, twice Kali. And the other one is 3 times, and Satya is 4 times. That's not a Dea Brahma. You take that 4 together and you multiply it 1,000 times. That comes from Bhagavad Gita, 8 chapters. Sahasra Yuga Paryantam. 1,000 of these cycles taken together is 1 day of Brahma, and the Ratri, and such also is the duration of his night. Just 12 hours. Then 1,000 Satya Treta Dwapara multiplied together, and the night is that same duration. So the benediction for Lomasa Rishi is every time a day of Brahma pass, 1 hair will fall off his body, and when all the hair of his body fall off, then he would die. And they say he was a very hairy sage. So one day, as he was, he was out, in the conditions out there doing his meditation. His meditation was disturbed. What it is was some of the disciples was building a shed over him. They say Gurudev is like, all kind of bad weather and thing, and he out there, he just sitting there meditating. Let's build a little something. It was just a week. I said, what are you all doing? I said, we building a little. He said, no, life is temporary. Don't get into all of that. Just forget that. He living for so long, and he tell them, don't worry about that. Life is temporary. Get busy about your real business. But we, under the spell of Maya, Open would tell about kids go to the beach and they're building castles on the sand. And I building a nice castle here, I building a nice this, nice that. They investing all the time, the energy. And the parents, the kids, alright, it's time to go home now. No, I have my castle here. But we like little children building up castles here, you know, it's just like this thing, that thing. But we don't get that point that this world is not our home. We don't belong here. We're just passing through. Life is for preparation. We're on a journey. We have to know where we belong, where we have to go and get equipped for reaching the destination. So even though Bhagavad Gita is so explicit, Krishna is saying, besides this world where everything is vyakta and then avyakta, everything is manifest and then unmanifest, Krishna said there is another world that is sanatan, eternal, and that is my abode. That is where I belong. And all the souls in this world, Mama Eva Amsa, they belong to me. Aham Bija Prada Pita. I am the real father of all beings. Not one and two. Pita Hamasya Jagato. The whole, everybody, Sarva Yonishu, not only human being. Krishna is very explicit. And if you know me, then at the time of death, you will not have to take birth in this world again, but you will come back to me. So he concludes the Gita by saying, Arjuna, I'm telling you the most confidential part of all knowledge. You just always think of me. You just become my devotee. You just worship me. You just offer your homage unto me. And surely you will come to me. I promise you this because you're very dear to me. Why is it that the whole world cannot hear from God? He's saying, Tat Shrinu, just hear from me. Well, Krishna, in Bhagavad Gita, do talk like the cousin Krishna, who used to say, the devil is stupid. The devil is stupid. Krishna in Bhagavad Gita are a little more mild than the cousin. So this Uttishta Jagrata that the Vedas say, wake up, Pravya Vardhan. This state of awakening will help us to take advantage of those elements that will kind of get us. There are certain elements, and that's why I say this association. Out of 64 items, these 5 most important, that if you participate in these 5, you could attain perfection. Sadhu Sangha, associate with saintly persons. Bhagavad Shravana, always hear Bhagavad, the glories of the Lord, mean you hear about yourself, you hear about Him, your relationship with Him, as the reality hear about the miseries of this world. So, Sadhu Sangha Nam Kirtan, the name that the Lord has, Kalikali Nama Rupa Krishna avatar. When you say Krishna, it's not just a sound. God is present in His name. Rupa, His form, Guna, His beautiful, wonderful qualities, Leela, His activities, everything is present. It's just a matter of consciousness, and we'll realize more and more His presence. When we chant, He's present. It's just, the only problem is when we chant, we are absent. He is present. When we chant, He comes. But we don't put attention. What attention mean? It means to attend, to be present. You have to attend, you have to be present. But we call, and our mind feeding here and there, all over. And there's the kind of level that we're on, calling, but we don't give. We're not present. We don't attend to it. Sadhu Sangha Nam Kirtan Bhagavad Shravana Murti. Lord is very, very merciful that He would come in a form like in the temple. He would appear to accept our worship. We could make nice garlands, we could make food, cook and offer to Him. One devotee, Gopal Bhatta Goswami, one of the 6 Goswamis, is disciples of Lord Chaitanya 500 years ago. He was thinking these other Goswamis, they have deity. But he was worshipping Shaligram Shila. This was like, it's like stone form of the Lord, but they come from a holy river in Gandaki River. But these are actually forms, manifestation of the Lord by the form of a stone. So he was worshipping this, and he thought, if I had a deity of Krishna, like, say, like Sanatan, he had a deity that he would worship. So Gopal Bhatta Goswami was thinking, if I had a deity, I would be able to like make garland, dress, put on some clothes and express my service a little more. Next morning when he wake up, the Shaligram Shila turn into a Krishna form. That is Radha Raman. Raman, that deity is in Vrindavan. One of my favorites. It's not like a so eager to see the deity, but they serve this really, really, I don't know what you call this thing they give you in a little clay cup. You have to give 100 rupees to get that. And never mind putting 100 and come back again and put out 100 to get a second one. It's so tasty, this sweet. Yeah. That is one of my favorite when I go to that temple. They make this cooked down milk and so the Murti, the Lord, is merciful that He appears like in our home. When He appeared in the temple, He has His standard. The servants in the temple, they had to kind of conform to His standard and His timing. But home, the devotees, they flex and they kind of worship Him by their standard. Why does work shift? So I go to do the arati in the evening time, you go in the morning, I go out. So the thing that the devotees home, the Lord does understand, that, So the Lord in the deity form, it's amazing, how the Lord is merciful. Like Sanatan, he had his deity, and he was just like kind of hang the deity, around his neck and like, a little pouch there. So one day the deity told Sanatan, what is this dry chapati? At least, give me a little salt with itself now. Sanatan said, Lord, I have poor mendicant living under a different tree every day. Where I going to get, I beg I get a little chapati. This is what I have. Today you're asking for salt, tomorrow you go on butter. You just have to take what you get. So the deity would, actually this deity before that was with a man in Mathura called Chaube. And the interesting thing was the deity from the altar used to take form and play with the man's children. Just play with them out there. And then the Lord told Chaube, a great devotee of mine come. I want you to hand me over to him. And then, Sanatan had a temple built for the Lord and so on. It didn't happen. So the deity come to benedict in a way to help us to accept our worship and whatnot. That's the fourth one. The fifth one is dham. People who are really convinced. Holy places like in India and so on, they're very powerful, but they're not for people who have, we just struggle to chant 16 rounds. People in India don't just chant 64 rounds. There is double 64 rounds. That is how, their life, the kind of commitment. So dham, the holy places are very, very powerful. So said anybody who participate, take advantage of these things, they could go back to God in this life, these 5 days. Of course, dham, where the Lord appears like in the temple, we should take advantage of His presence there also. That's like, He comes and so we take advantage of His presence in the temples. But to the point of taking advantage of things in our life, in the situations, yes, we say the company of devotees, because sometimes in the company of devotees you can get such powerful awakening, especially sometimes in this world a person like Prabhupada come, and they're like a walking theater, a personified holy place. Come to New York and people come in contact with them and amazing. They just get an awakening in life. Just by contact with a pure devotee, they just get an awakening and they become a devotee. So this awakening we're talking about. They say a pure devotee, there's a moment association can have miraculous effect. So certain things, the holy name, but then like we have to give it the proper attention and all of that. So the combination of hearing the Bhagavad, the association, the chanting, these combinations, if we have the right intensity, like in Bhagavad Mahatmya, there's a story of called Dundukari. Anyway, they were doing a Bhagavad, and after the Bhagavad, miraculously, Dundukari, he got liberated, and other persons say, oh, we are priests, we are this thing, that thing, and we get liberated. Oh, we get liberated. It was the intensity of his listening, his faith. So intensity is described in the Bhagavad Mahatmya, different levels. So we all doing things, but some people, different people have different levels of intensity. Like, so Krishna, the Bhagavad has a verse, Srinvatam Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridyantasto Hiya Bhadrani. Hridyantasto. Krishna is seated in everybody's heart. He's there in everybody's heart. Devotee, non-devotee, all created. He's there. But sometimes, they said the devotee who has developed the urge to hear and chant his message, for that person, the Lord from within the heart, he had miraculous effects. Yes, miraculous effects. So for people who get special mercy or special development, in Lord Chaitanya Leela, many devotees, Lord Chaitanya will just give anybody, like a washerman. Washerman, they call Dhobiwala, people who just wash people's clothes. They go down by a cart place, and wash people's clothes there. So this Dhobiwala, he is washing clothes. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, please chant, Hari, Hari. Man said, don't disturb me, man. I busy. See, I have a whole load of clothes there to wash. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, leave that clothes for me to wash. I'll wash the clothes. I want you. Ek baar bolo. Just one. Chant. Hari. This man chant Hari. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave him mercy. When he chanted Hari, he got prema. He started to dance in ecstasy. Somebody bring food for that man, and that person hear he chanting, and that person started to chant and dance too. That is how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sometimes would give mercy. He was traveling through the Jarikanda forest. And his assistant, Balabhadra Bhattacharya, said, watch out, my lord, there's a tiger on the path. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu walked straight up to the tiger and kicked him and said, chant the holy name. The tiger started to chant. Other creatures came and they started to chant. So the Lord could induce, the Lord would give mercy. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu one day in ecstasy just took the sea for the Jamuna and just ran straight in. And just went on and a fisherman caught him in the net. And as soon as the fisherman tried to get him out of the net and touch him, he just started, Hari, Hari. If Adish was still here, I would have reminded him about a skit they put on many years ago. Adish was playing the boatman, the fisherman who He said, when the fisherman meets Swarup Damodar, the Lord's servants, they were looking for him because the Lord disappeared in the night and they don't know. So they're walking on the beach looking for him and they see this fisherman coming, Hurry, hurry, hurry. So this indicates something. He must have had some contact. So they ask him. So they said, no, I haven't seen any Hari Hari Lord, but I was catching Hari Hari fish. And I catch a Hari Hari corpse in this net, and when I touch this Hari Hari corpse, then this Hari Hari ghost enter into me, and then this Hari Hari ghost has taken over me. So the Lord would give some special mercy to just anybody. Srivas Thakur had a Mohammedan servant, a Teva. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just give him prema, and love for God, he just started in ecstasy. So anybody. But for us, we may have to put out a bit. But faith is created by association with devotees. People associated with Srila Prabhupada, they got faith in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna's teaching. They got faith to chant the holy name. So Prabhupada, he said, one thing is, we are living in this miserable world, and we have to learn to take advantage of the problems. So Prabhupada lecturing on a chapter of teachings of Queen Kunti from the Bhagavatam. He quoted this verse. Kunti Devi, the mother of the Pandavas, they went through real hell. Now they had to fight this battle, great powerful warriors, but by Krishna's mercy, they won the battle. Yudhishthira is on the throne now. So Krishna had come from Dwarka, spent time with them. Now Krishna leaving. Kunti, the mother of the Pandavas, is Krishna's aunt, father's sister. And she's enlightened. She knows Krishna is not just my nephew. So she offered beautiful prayers. Namashe Purusham Dvadyam Ishwaram Prakriti Param Alaksham Sarva Bhutanam Antarbahiravastitam. You are the Namashe Purusham Dvadyam. You are the original person. Ishwaram, you are not just like one of these Ishwaras, controllers in this world, but you are the Param Ishwara, the supreme controller. Antar Bahira Vashtitam, you are inside. Antar, you are Bahir, you are outside. But now Lakshya say Mudha but the foolish, they cannot see you. Nato Natyat Haroyata, just as an actor, he's playing a certain role and people can't recognize. They don't know who played Hanuman there. He's masked, he's playing a role. They say you come and you act and people can't figure out, they can't see, they can't understand who you are. But then continue, she said, Vipada Santu Takshasva Tatra Tatra Jagat Guru Bhavatu Darshanam Yatsyad Apunar Bhava Darshana. I wish that all these calamities would happen again and again, so that we could see you again and again. For seeing you means that we will no longer see repeated births and deaths. I want to pray. Krishna is leaving and going. Kunti Devi said, whenever we were in distress, we had this problem, that problem, you were always there. Now you are leaving and going. Better let all these calamities come again and again, for by seeing you means that we won't see repeated birth and death. It means that when calamities come, we have to learn to see that as the hand of God. As Narad said, when his mother died, he said, I took this as the special mercy of the Lord who desires benediction for his devotees. He saw that as the Lord's mercy on him. And he headed for the Himalayas, where he started to meditate and he actually saw the Lord. So when obstacles, when impediments come, if we don't train ourselves to see everything, Krishna said everything work under my supervision. If we don't train ourselves to see, Krishna has just given me these things so I wouldn't be casual and complacent and think I belong to this world, because everybody think this is where we belong. They feel themselves quite comfortable here. They don't see the reality that they're running into death. As the Bhagavad says, Ayur Harati Vaipumsam. Every day that sun rise and set, Harati, it takes away our duration of life. Every day that sun rises and set, one day nearer to death. That is what it means. We just come one day nearer to death. Every day that sun rises and set, takes away. But it said, except for a person who Uttama Shloka Gunanivarnana, who is absorbed in hearing the Lord's glories. Why? Because that person enters into the eternal dimension. Soul is eternal, the Lord is eternal, and that absorption, that relationship with the Lord, that takes a person into the eternal dimension. So even though body fall apart or anything, he has entered into that eternal dimension. So we have to learn to take opportunities to take shelter of the holy name. The Lord is present as the holy name. We have to learn to take shelter. But in devotee, he would chant, he would read, he would cook, he would offer, all his activities, everything, he would learn. Because bhav means when he develops his affection, anything, everything. Prabhupada said, if your child is away, but then you see the child's shoe, immediately that invokes memory and feeling for the child, just by seeing. So the devotee, while in this world, the holy name, cooking, offering, because the feeling has developed. And only when that love for the Lord developed, all this illusion that we are going through here, and Kunti Devi detected that. She said, Tvai menanya vishaya matir madhupate satvit ratimur vahatara gange vaughamudanvati. O Lord of Madhu, as the Ganges forever flows to the ocean without hindrance, let my attraction constantly be drawn to you and not be diverted by anything else. Sever my attachment from the Vrishnis and the Yadus. That's her family members, they're devotees. Because she had a bodily relationship, but her prayer is as such. Let my attraction constantly be drawn to you. So in this world, we have to cultivate gradually, because death is going to come. Death is going to come. And if we don't wake up during the course of our life and cultivate this relationship, if we do, Krishna said, I promise you, you'll come to me. But can you imagine how unfortunate the world is that people can't take up God and His promise? And that's why I always say, to get the mercy of the Lord and be able to do what I did, I feel I was blessed. Because normally you go into school and people put all kind of career in your mind and this and that. Or maybe it was a good thing I was a dunce because you didn't have too much of career to be attracted and attached to. Everybody used to know The Caneville and the Bullcat will be yours. Everybody had other things, you know, but that was known that that was coming my way. When I passed common entrance, it's like, how that happened to he? Nobody in the family ever passed common entrance because of course there's a few people. When I passed common entrance, that was like a disappointment to the old man because he's the man with the cane field, the Bullcat. He had to handle that. Brother say, send him, now let him go. If I bike for me and go. Go. I have bike, you go to school. Yeah. But then again, after a few months, you know what? The old man leave the Bullcat and the cane field and everything and move into the temple. If you think that is mercy. If you think I get mercy, this old man get more mercy. Man was 50-something years old, younger than me. He just leave everything. He get rid of mercy. Anyway, the idea is that we count our blessings. That Krishna is by Krishna's mercy. He give you attraction for him and his service, which is not easy to get. So we have to learn that is the goal, to go home. He is our everything, and we have to reinstate ourselves in that relationship. And the scriptures is full of examples of people in this world, how while living in this world, they cultivate and they develop that relationship. So the idea is that we have to be awakened, and the whole mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is to wake up people. 3 duties. When somebody asks, what is my duty? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Namaruchi, you cultivate that chanting of the holy name. Vaishnava Seva, you render service to Vaishnavas. Why? Because to serve devotees, Bhakta Seva Paramasiddhi, Premalati Karamula. That is the highest perfection, to be able to render service to Vaishnavas, devotees of the Lord. Because the Lord is very much pleased by that. You want to serve Krishna, everybody try to serve God. But the servants of God who dedicate their life to serve the Lord, if you serve them, Krishna, special mercy. And the third thing, Jiva Daya. Show compassion for the souls of this world. Because they're suffering in the cycle of repeated birth and death, going to hell, taking lower. So this mission is a mercy mission. Give them prashadam, give them a book, give them the holy name, take something from them and offer it to the Lord. Somehow get them in contact with the Lord. This is the mission. So when you see an old man like Srila Prabhupada, 70 years old, suffer a couple of heart attacks, come to America, what motivating, what impelling him? It is people in ignorance, and he wants to give them. So he created a society whereby people could associate, come in contact with devotees, and get this awakening. Maybe slow awakening, but this is the purpose of this mission. Because everybody have to go home, and they don't know that. They don't know that. So gradually, devotees try to awaken that. Hare Krishna, so we could conclude here. Anybody have anything before we do our final kirtan?